Hi guys, so here's another one. Back to the improvised weapons once again. So here we go. Okay, so here's the two of my ugly homemade rabbit sticks I had in one of my previous videos a long time ago. And basically what I did is I took a 3/16 inch thick by 1 inch wide by 1.5 inches wide, sorry, and flat bar stock, and these come in 3-foot lengths, and I basically chopped it down to about a foot long, and then I just basically put a couple of points on the end and ground it down, and I basically ended up with these, which are basically kind of like a flat bow shuriken. You could very easily, when they do stick, and they do stick, they pretty much embed themselves into anything, because you have to understand that these pieces of flat bar stock, even at foot long lengths, still weigh about a pound. And the reason why I call them a rabbit stick is if I'm throwing it at, say, I don't know, a rabbit, and the point goes through, obviously it's going to kill the rabbit, but not only that, but even if it hits on the side, it's going to break bones and probably kill the rabbit that way too. What I did is I also wrapped the handle portion in twine so that I could get a good grip in case I needed to use it as a short range stabbing type weapon. So this is what it starts out looking like. This is what two of the models I have. Now this third model up here is something different. It's a it's kind of like a dragon's tail, and basically it's still the foot long length, but I just kind of ground it down into a double-edged point, and I bore a hole in the back, and I wrapped the handle in bank line so that I'll have a comfortable handle. But not only that, I also have this bank line, so if I'm out in the woods or something and I need a quick expedient spear, I can just simply split a stick, put a slot in a stick, preferably a hardwood, and then I can wrap this spear point into it. It also, because of this hole, it also allows me to attach a 4-foot chain to it, and I have a quick link, and so by using that quick link I can just attach this like so, and now I have a monster tail or a dragon's tail, or even some people call it a rope dart too. Either way, however you want to say that, and I'll show you a little bit of how I use it, so stay tuned. Okay guys, at the end of this chain, at the other end of this chain, I have a shackle. Now this shackle goes around my pinky finger, alright, and so then what I do is I stretch out my arms, and that'll give me one length, and I thread that through one finger. Then I stretch out again, and that'll give me a second length that then I can modify and adjust to the length that I want. Okay? And what that'll do is once I have a set length, then I'll flip it backwards, and so that now I have the chain going around my hand here, and I've got my knife that I can use any way that I want, but I've also got this length of chain in the other hand, so I can snap that into my opponent's face, distracting him while the knife goes in for the kill. Okay? So it can be used that way. The other way is that I can very quickly drop this knife and start swinging in a circular fashion, and then I can let go and let the knife fly to wherever I want it to do. And then once I get it back, once I pull it back, then I can once again flip it back around and it's back in my hand again. Okay. I can also use this chain to block various things. If I see something coming, you know, I can go up under like this, get some tension on it, boom, I can block a lot of things. Or at least slow it down so I can move my body out of the way. Okay. Understand that when you're using a chain to block anything, you're never going to be able to do a straight block like you will at something solid or rigid like a knife. Even if you block it with the chain, there's still going to be a little bit of that give, and that object is still going to come closer to you. So it's not going to block like a solid object like a baseball bat or a sword. It's still going, that object is still going to come in just a little bit. So it's more of a giving you time to get out of the way type situation. So it's more of a redirecting type thing. It's not a force-to-force block. Sometimes force-to-force block can be done with the chain, but in general, especially at this point, we're just going to assume that it's not feasible. However, with certain people and certain trainings, it can be done. I'm just not getting into that. Okay. So anyway, this is how I use this, and I train with it like this. You can also use the chain with the knife for close range attacks like that. Always remember to be able to swing it backwards into your hand. You can also go from the front. It's a little more problematic because you have to go around the thumb then, and you catch it. You need a longer length of chain to do that, and it goes around the thumb, and then you catch it like that. Okay. Like I said, it's a little more problematic. It can be done, but either way, that's one way of how to use this. It's something that you can train with. Note that the edges of these things are really not that sharp. It's the point that's the problem. But it's a very heavy weapon. Like everything I own and everything that I use, it's heavy. But that's what helps me have better muscle memory, so that when I have something light in my hand, it moves faster. So anyway, thanks. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your time. Defend your homes wisely.